The Galactic Academy was floating quietly in deep space. It was one of the biggest and most famous schools in the galaxy. Students from hundreds of planets came here to study. Some were tall, some were small, some had wings, some had glowing eyes, some even had metal skin. This school was proud of one thing. It believed that only the strongest planets deserved respect. Every morning, students gathered in the main hall for their first class. The hall was huge. The ceiling showed moving stars. The floor was made of crystal glass. Soft blue light filled the room. On this day, students were sitting in rows, talking loudly, laughing, bragging, showing off. In the last row, near the corner, sat a human girl. Her name was Lena Carter. She was from Earth. She was small compared to most aliens. Her skin was soft. Her eyes were brown. Her hair was tied in a simple ponytail. She wore the standard school uniform, but it looked plain on her. She did not talk much. She did not show off. She just listened and watched. Lena was new in this school. She had arrived only 2 months ago. At first, everyone was curious about her. A human student was rare, but soon, curiosity turned into jokes, and jokes turned into mockery. Behind her, a group of tall alien students were whispering. One of them was named Zarkin. He was from a high-gravity planet. His body was strong like stone. His voice was loud. He leaned forward and said, "Hey, look, the Earth girl is here." Another alien laughed. "Yeah, from that weak planet." A third one added, "I heard their gravity is so low that babies can jump like birds." They all laughed. Lena heard every word, but she did not turn around. She kept looking at her notebook. She pretended not to care. Zarkin was not done. He stood up a little and said loudly, "Hey, Lena, is it true that on Earth, you cannot even lift heavy things?" Some students turned and looked at her. Some smiled. Some waited for her answer. Lena slowly looked up. Her face was calm. "Yes," she said softly. "Earth gravity is lower than many planets." Zarkin laughed. "See? Weak planet. Weak people." More laughter filled the hall. The teacher had not arrived yet, so no one stopped him. Lena closed her notebook. She took a slow breath. She had learned something important since coming here. If she reacted, they would laugh more. If she stayed quiet, they would get bored. So she stayed quiet. A bell rang. The main door opened. Professor Kale entered. He was tall and thin. His skin was silver. His eyes looked ancient. He had taught for over 200 years. When he entered, the hall became silent. "Good morning, students," he said. "Good morning, Professor." They replied together. Professor Kale walked to the front. "Today, we will continue our lesson on planetary strength and survival," he said. Many students smiled proudly. This was their favorite topic. He activated the screen behind him. A large image appeared. It showed different planets. Some were huge. Some were small. Some were burning. Some were frozen. Every planet, Kale said, faces challenges. Gravity, climate, enemies, resources. He pointed at a red planet. This planet has heavy gravity. Its people are strong. He pointed at a blue one. This one has oceans and storms. Its people are fast. Then he pointed at a small green dot. "Earth," he said. Some students chuckled. Kale continued. "Earth has medium gravity, soft atmosphere, many natural disasters." Zarkin whispered. "Sounds weak already." Kale heard him, but he did not react. "Tell me," Kale said, "what do you think about Earth?" Hands went up quickly. Zarkin raised his hand first. "Yes, Zarkin," Kale said. Zarkin stood. "Professor, Earth is weak. Their people are small. No special powers. No strong bodies. They cannot survive real galactic wars." Some students nodded. Another student raised her hand. "They still use old machines. No advanced shields like us." Another added, "They fight among themselves all the time." The room filled with voices. Primitive. Soft. Outdated. Weak. Lena sat quietly. Her fingers slowly tightened around her pen. Inside her mind, memories began to rise. She remembered broken buildings, sirens, smoke, crying people. She remembered her city after an attack. She remembered her father in uniform. She remembered waiting every night, hoping he would return. She pushed those thoughts away. Not now. Kale raised his hand. Silence returned. Interesting opinions, he said. He looked at Lena. Lena Carter, he said. Yes, Professor, she replied. Would you like to share your thoughts? Every eye turned to her. Her heart started beating faster. She did not like attention, but she stood up, slowly. I think, she said, every planet is strong in different ways. Some students rolled their eyes. Zarkin whispered, nice answer. Still weak. Lena heard him, but she continued, Earth people are not weak. We just face things differently. Zarkin laughed. Like, what? Running. More laughter. Lena felt heat on her face, but she did not stop. We fall, she said. We get hurt. We lose. But we stand again. Kale watched her closely. Thank you, Lena, he said. You may sit. She sat down. Her hands were shaking a little. Class continued. Kale talked about planetary defenses and military systems. But Lena heard nothing. Her mind was far away. She was back on Earth. Back in her old school. Back when sirens interrupted lessons. Back when teachers told them to hide. Back when she learned what fear was. The bell rang again. Class ended. Students stood up and started leaving. In the hallway, voices were loud again. Zarkin and his friends walked behind Lena. Hey, Earth Girl, Zarkin said. She stopped. She turned slowly. Yes. Tomorrow, he said, we have presentation class. Planet history. So, she asked. Zarkin smiled. Professor will ask you to talk about Earth. Some students gathered around. They were curious. And then Zarkin continued, we will see how weak your planet really is. Lena looked at him. Her eyes were calm. But inside, something moved. Something old. Something heavy. Maybe, she said quietly, you will learn something. Zarkin laughed. From you? Impossible. They walked away. Lena stood there for a moment. Her heart was beating fast. Presentation class. She knew what that meant. She would have to talk about Earth. In front of everyone. She walked slowly to her dorm room. It was small and simple. One bed, one desk, one window showing stars. She sat on her bed. She looked at the photo on her table. It showed her family. Her mother, her father, her younger brother, taken before the war, before everything changed. She touched the photo. They don't know, she whispered. They think strength is muscles. She stood up. She went to her desk. She turned on her tablet. She opened old files. Videos, records, history, wars, sacrifice, survival. She watched silently. Explosions, soldiers running, doctors helping, people rebuilding. Tears fell from her eyes, but she did not wipe them. She kept watching. For hours. Late at night, she stood near the window. Stars moved slowly outside. She thought of Earth. So far away. So small. So strong. Tomorrow, she whispered, I will tell them. Not with anger. Not with pride. But with truth. Because they needed to know. The galaxy needed to know. That Earth was not weak. It had just learned to survive pain. And that was the beginning. The next morning, the Galactic Academy was louder than usual. Students were talking about only one thing. Lena's presentation. She will embarrass herself. She will cry. Earth has nothing to show. Easy entertainment. Whispers moved like wind through the halls. Lena walked alone. Her bag was on her shoulder. Her face was calm. But inside, her heart was heavy. She had slept only 2 hours. All night, she watched old Earth records. All night, she remembered things she tried to forget. War, loss, fear, hope. She reached the main presentation hall. It was bigger than the normal classroom. Thousands of seats. A floating stage. A giant screen behind it. Today, many students came early. They did not want to miss the show. Zarkin was sitting in the front row. He looked excited. This will be fun, he told his friends. Professor Kale stood near the stage. He checked his tablet. When Lena entered, He noticed her tired eyes, but he said nothing. The bell rang. The hall became silent. "Good morning," Kale said. "Good morning, Professor." Everyone replied. "Today," Kale continued, "we will hear about planetary history. One student will speak today." He paused. Then he said, "Lena Carter, Earth." A small sound moved through the hall. Some laughed softly. Some clapped in a mocking way. Lena stood up, slowly. She felt hundreds of eyes on her. Her legs felt weak, but she walked, step by step, toward the stage. Each step felt heavy, like she was walking on Earth's strongest gravity. She reached the center. The light focused on her. The hall disappeared. Only darkness and faces remained. She took a deep breath. Professor Kale nodded at her. "You may begin," he said. Lena looked at the audience. Aliens of every kind. Strong bodies. Sharp eyes. Confident faces. People who never saw war on their own land. She held her tablet. Her hands were shaking. For a moment, she said nothing. Zarkin whispered. "Forgot her words already." Some students laughed. Lena closed her eyes. Just for 1 second. She remembered her mother's voice. "Speak from your heart." She opened her eyes. "My name is Lena Carter," she said. "My planet is Earth." Her voice was soft, but clear. "Many of you think Earth is weak." She paused. No one denied it. "We do not have strong bodies like you. No natural shields. No special powers." Zarkin smiled. "Then why am I here?" she asked. Silence. "Why did my planet survive?" she continued. She touched her tablet. The screen behind her turned on. A picture appeared. A blue planet. Beautiful. Peaceful. "This is Earth," she said. "Before wars." Next image. Broken buildings. Smoke. Fire. Crying people. The hall became quiet. "These are our cities," Lena said. "After tax." Zarkin stopped smiling. Lena continued. "We fought among ourselves. We fought outsiders. We fought disasters." Images changed. Floods. Earthquakes. Fires. Storms. People helping each other. Rescue teams. Doctors. Volunteers. "We lost millions," she said. Her voice shook, but we did not disappear. She took a breath. "My father was a soldier." A picture appeared. A man in uniform. Smiling. He protected our city. One day he did not come back. Some students looked down. Lena's eyes were wet, but she kept speaking. "My mother became stronger. She worked 2 jobs. She never gave up. My brother studied at night. By candlelight. Because electricity was gone. The screen showed children studying in dark rooms." Zarkin felt something strange in his chest. He did not understand it, but it felt heavy. "We were afraid," Lena said, "every day. But we still smiled." The screen showed people rebuilding houses, planting trees, opening schools, celebrating small festivals. "On Earth," Lena said, "strength is not in muscles. It is in standing up after falling." She stopped. The hall was silent. No laughter. No whispers. Only her voice. "You asked," she continued, "why we fight. Because we love our home. We love our people. We love our future." She looked at Zarkin. Directly. "You think war makes us weak. But war taught us how to survive, how to protect, how to unite." She pressed one more button. A final video played. Human soldiers standing together, holding flags, helping civilians, protecting children. A voice in the video said, "We fight so they can live." Lena turned to the audience. "This is Earth," she said. "We are not perfect. We are not proud of war. But we never surrender." Tears rolled down her cheeks. She did not hide them. "These tears," she said, "are our medals." Silence filled the hall. Some aliens had wet eyes. Some were shocked. Some felt ashamed. Professor Kale slowly stood up. He looked at Lena, then at the audience. "Thank you," he said. His voice was deep. "Thank you for your truth." Lena bowed her head. She walked back to her seat. No one laughed. No one mocked. They moved aside to give her space. Zarkin stayed still. He could not look at her. His hands were tight. For the first time in his life, he felt small. After class, students whispered again, but not with jokes, with respect, with pain, with thought. She is strong. Earth is strong. I did not know. Lena walked outside. She sat under a glowing tree. Her body was tired. Her heart was empty. She had given everything. Professor Kale came near. You were brave, he said. Lena looked up. Was it enough? She asked. Kale looked at the sky. Truth is always enough, he replied. But inside the academy, something was changing. Pride was breaking. Ideas were falling. And a new question was rising. If Earth survived all that, what else could humans do? And that question would soon shake the whole galaxy. After Lena's speech, the academy did not feel the same. The halls were quieter. The laughter was softer. The jokes were gone. Students looked at Lena differently now. Some with respect. Some with confusion. Some with fear. Earth was no longer weak. It was unknown. And unknown things were dangerous. Zarkin walked alone in the corridor. His heavy steps echoed. He kept thinking about Lena's words. About her father. About her tears. About her courage. Humans survived all that, he whispered. It did not make sense to him. On his planet, war meant destruction. No one rebuilt that, and no one returned. But Earth did. That bothered him. Inside the council room, teachers were meeting. Professor Kale stood near a round table. Around him were 5 senior instructors, each from a powerful planet. We have a problem, said Instructor Virex. A human student changed the balance. She changed opinions, said another. Some students now doubt their own strength. Kale remained calm. She spoke the truth, he said. Truth is not a problem, Virex replied. Influence is. Another instructor leaned forward. We must test Earth. Kale's eyes narrowed. Test? Yes, Virex said. A public trial. A survival exam. Let her prove her words. If she fails, students will forget. If she wins. He stopped. Everyone understood. If she wins, Kale said, Earth will gain respect. Virex smiled slowly. Exactly. That afternoon, an announcement filled the academy. All screens turned on. All voices stopped. Attention, students, said the system voice. Tomorrow, a special trial will be held. A planetary survival test. Participant, Lena Carter. Earth. Gasps filled the halls. Lena was in the library when she heard it. Her tablet vibrated. She read the message. Her heart dropped. Survival test? She stood up quickly. Books fell from the table. Other students looked at her. Zarkin ran toward her. Lena, he said, you don't understand. That test is dangerous. What kind of test? She asked. A virtual war zone, he replied. Real pain. Real fear. Some students quit. Some faint. Some never try again. Lena stayed silent. She remembered sirens. She remembered shelters. She remembered nights without sleep. I will do it, she said. Zarkin stared at her. Why? Because, she replied, they need to see. That night, Lena did not sleep. She sat on her bed, looking at the stars, thinking of Earth, thinking of her family. If I fail, she whispered, they will laugh again. If I succeed, she closed her eyes. Then they will know. The next day, the arena was full. It was a huge dome, transparent walls, energy shields, floating screens. Thousands of students watched. Teachers sat on high platforms. The trial chamber was in the center, a circular platform, surrounded by light. Lena stood at the entrance. She wore a simple training suit. No armor, no weapons, just a small communication band. Professor Kale approached. You can still refuse, he said softly. She shook her head. No, she replied. I won't. He nodded. Be careful. Zarkin watched from the front row. His hands were tight. Please survive, he whispered. Lena stepped forward. The door closed behind her. Light surrounded her. The system voice spoke. Trial begins. Suddenly, the world changed. She was no longer in the arena. She stood in a destroyed city. Buildings were broken. Smoke filled the air. Sirens wailed. It looked like Earth. Too real. Her heart raced. This is not real, she told herself. But her body felt everything. Heat, cold, pain, fear. An explosion sounded. She fell to the ground. Her arm burned. She cried out. Students watching gasped. She's hurt. She's bleeding. Zarkin stood up. Stop it, he shouted. But the trial continued. Enemies appeared. Dark armored figures. Robots. Drones. They moved fast. Lena hid behind a wall. Her breathing was heavy. Her hands were shaking. I can't, she whispered. I'm tired. Then she heard a voice. In her memory. Her father's voice. Don't stop, Lena. Her mother's voice. Stand again. Her brother's voice. We believe in you. She stood up, slowly. Pain filled her body. But she moved. She ran. She jumped. She avoided attacks. She helped virtual civilians. She guided them to safety. She treated injured people, even when enemies were near. Why is she helping? Virex asked. She should focus on survival. Kale replied, that is how humans survive. The test grew harder. Storms, fire, darkness. Lena collapsed. Her knees hit the ground. Tears fell. I can't move, she whispered. A drone aimed at her. Students screamed. Zarkin covered his eyes. Please. Lena looked up. She saw a child. Virtual. Crying. Alone. Just like her brother once was. She forced herself up. With her last strength. She ran. She grabbed the child. She shielded him. The blast hit her back. She screamed. Then, silence. The world faded. Light returned. She was back in the arena. On her knees. Breathing hard. Her suit was torn. Her face was pale. But she was alive. The system voice spoke. Trial completed. Result, survival. Civilian rescue, 97%. Team support, maximum. Self-sacrifice, extreme. Overall score, unprecedented. For a moment, no one spoke. Then, the arena exploded with sound. Applause. Cheers. Shouts. Zarkin cried openly. She did it. Teachers stood. Even Virex was silent. Professor Kale walked to Lena. He helped her stand. You showed them, he said. She smiled weakly. I just did what we do. What is that? He asked. Protect, she replied. From that day, Earth was no longer weak. It was respected. But somewhere in the shadows, others were watching. Powerful forces. Dangerous minds. They saw Lena's strength. And they wanted it. Because the real test had not even started yet. After the trial, everything changed. Lena became famous overnight. Screens across the academy showed her image. Students talk about her everywhere. She is brave. She is strong. She saved everyone. Earth is powerful. For the first time, humans were respected, but not everyone was happy. In a dark room, far below the academy, secret meetings were happening. No students were allowed there. No normal teachers entered. Only the highest leaders. Only the ones who control power. Instructor Virex stood in the center. His eyes were cold. Around him were three unknown figures. They wore black robes. Their faces were hidden. The human is dangerous, Virex said. She changes minds. She weakens our control. One shadow figure replied. Then remove her. Virex shook his head. Killing her will make her a hero. We need something smarter. Another voice whispered. Use her. Virex smiled slowly. Yes, use her. Meanwhile, Lena was resting in the medical wing. White walls. Soft lights. Quiet machines. She lay on a bed. Her body was weak, but her heart felt peaceful. Zarkin sat near her, holding a small glass of water. You scared everyone, he said. She smiled faintly. Sorry. No, he replied. Thank you. There was silence. Then he said, I was wrong about Earth. I was wrong about you. Lena looked at him. Thank you for saying that. For the first time, They were not enemies. They were friends. Professor Kale entered the room. "Lena," he said, "the council want to see you." Her smile faded. "The council?" "Yes," he replied. Immediately, she sat up slowly. Zarkin looked worried. "They never call students." "I know," Lena said, "and that scares me." The council hall was huge. Golden walls, floating lights, energy pillars. At the center was a round table. 12 seats, 12 leaders. The most powerful minds in the galaxy. Lena stood alone before them. She felt small, very small. Vyrek spoke first. "Lena Carter," he said, "you have impressed us." "Thank you," she replied politely. "You showed courage," another leader said. "You showed leadership," said another. "We need people like you," Vyrek continued. Lena felt uneasy. "People like me for what?" she asked. Vyrek raised his hand. A screen appeared. It showed distant space. A dark region. Empty. Destroyed planets. "This is a shadow zone," he said. "A dangerous area. An unknown force is attacking planets. We are losing." Images showed burning worlds. Fleeing ships. Dead cities. Lena's heart tightened. "We want you," Vyrek said, "to join a special mission." "Why me?" she asked. "Because students trust you," he replied. "They follow you. You can inspire them." She stayed silent. Kale, who stood in the corner, looked uncomfortable. "Is it safe?" Lena asked. Vyrek smiled. "As safe as work can be." That answer frightened her. "May I think?" she asked. "No," Vyrek said. "This is an order." Lena felt trapped. "I accept," she said slowly. The council smiled. But Kale's face was dark. Outside, he stopped her. "This is wrong," he whispered. "They are hiding something." "What choice do I have?" she asked. "None," he replied sadly. The next week, training began. Special combat lessons, strategy classes, mental pressure tests. Lena trained hard, but something felt strange. She noticed files were locked. Questions were avoided. Some instructors acted nervous. One night, she was walking in a quiet hallway. She heard voices. Behind a door, Vyrek's voice. "She is perfect. She will lead them. They will die first." Another voice replied, "And we escape." Lena froze. Her heart stopped. "They are using me," she whispered. She slowly moved away, back to her room. She locked the door. Her hands shook. "They want me to send students to death." She contacted Zarkin secretly. "Meet me now." They met near the old observatory. Dark, silent. "What's wrong?" Zarkin asked. She told him everything. He clenched his fists. "That's evil." "We must tell Kale," he said. They went to Kale's office. Late night. Lights were on. Kale looked tired. When he heard them, his face became pale. "I suspected," he said. "They plan to sacrifice young fighters. To save themselves. Can we stop them?" Lena asked. Kale looked at her. "Yes, but it is dangerous." "How?" Zarkin asked. Kale activated a hidden screen. It showed secret data. Mission routes. False reports. Hidden exits. "They will escape during the battle," Kale said, "and leave students behind." Lena felt sick. "We expose them," she said, "to everyone. But they control media." Kale replied, "No one will believe us." Lena thought for a long time. Then she said, "Then we show truth." "How?" Zarkin asked. "With action," she replied. Mission day arrived. Hundreds of young fighters gathered. Ships were ready. Weapons loaded. Families watched from screens. Lena stood at the front, supposed to give a speech. Vyrek smiled proudly. "Make them brave," he whispered. She walked forward. She looked at the crowd. Young faces. Hopeful eyes. Fearful hearts. Just like Earth soldiers once. She took a deep breath. "My friends," she began, "this mission is dangerous. But not in the way you think." Vyrek's smile faded. "They did not tell you everything," she continued. "They plan to leave you. They plan to save themselves." Screens suddenly changed. Kale hacked them. Secret files appeared. Escape routes. Hidden ships. Fake data. The crowd gasped. Virex shouted, "Lies!" Lena pointed. "Look," she said. "Truth." Students started shouting. Anger rose. Guards moved. Virex pulled out a weapon. "Stop her." Chaos exploded. Alarms rang. People ran. Zarkin stood in front of Lena, protecting her. Kale activated emergency broadcast. "This is Professor Kale," he said. "The council betrayed you. Do not follow false leaders." Security robots surrounded Virex. He tried to escape, but students blocked him. "You used us," someone shouted. Virex fell. Captured. Silence slowly returned. Lena stood shaking. She almost fell. Zarkin held her. "You saved us," he whispered. Later, the truth spread across the galaxy. The council was removed. New leaders were chosen. Honest ones. Kale became head advisor. Lena was offered power. She refused. "I just want peace," she said. But in deep space, that unknown enemy was still there, watching, learning, preparing. And now, they knew about Lena. And they were coming. The galaxy was not at peace. Not yet. Even after Virex was captured, danger still remained. Far away from the Academy. Beyond known space. Inside the dark shadow zone. Something was moving. Something powerful. Something angry. A giant fleet of unknown ships floated in silence. Black metal. Red lights. Sharp edges. They looked like monsters in space. Inside the largest ship, a tall figure stood. Its eyes glowed blue. Its voice was cold. "The human girl," it said. "She ruined our plan. She united them. We will destroy her." And then the attack began. The first warning. One quiet morning, alarms screamed across the academy. Red lights flashed. Screens turned on. Emergency messages filled every hall. Unknown fleet detected. Shadow zone forces approaching. Prepare for defense. Students froze. Teachers shouted orders. Ships were launched. Weapons activated. Lena was in the training yard when she heard it. Her heart dropped. "It's happening," she whispered. Zarkin ran to her. "Enemy fleet is huge," he said. "Bigger than anything before." Professor Kale joined them. His face was serious. "This is not a normal war," he said. "They are here to send a message." "What message?" Lena asked. Kale looked at her. "To break hope. The enemy speaks." Suddenly, all screens changed. A dark figure appeared. The leader of the Shadow Fleet. Its voice echoed. "People of the galaxy," it said. "You are weak. You hide behind lies. You follow a human child." Lena felt anger rise. "You believe in emotion," the voice continued. "We believe in power. Give us Lena Carter, and we will spare you." Gasps filled the academy. Zarkin turned to her. "No, never." Students shouted. "She stays. We protect her." Lena closed her eyes. She felt the weight. Billions of lives. One name. Her name. "If I go," she thought, "they may stop." But Kale shook his head. "They won't," he said. "They want control." Preparing for the last battle. The galaxy united. For the first time in history. Different planets. Different species. One army. One purpose. Protect freedom. Lena was chosen as a leader. Not because of rank. Because of trust. She stood before thousands of young fighters. Just like before. But this time, it was real. No simulation. No safety. Only war. She took a deep breath. "My friends," she said, "I am scared." "So are you." That is normal. But fear does not mean weakness. It means we care. She looked around. We are not fighting for power. We are fighting for home. For family. For future. For hope. Cheers rose. Ships prepared. Weapons charged. Engines roared. The final battle was coming. The battle of the stars. Space turned into fire. Lasers crossed like storms. Explosions filled the dark. Ships crashed. Debris floated. Screams echoed through radios. Lena flew in a small command ship. Zarkin beside her. Enemy on left, he shouted. Turn, she replied. They moved fast, dodged attacks, returned fire. Around them, allies fought bravely. But the enemy was strong, too strong. One by one, allied ships fell. We are losing, Zarkin whispered. Lena, clench your fists. No, she said. Not yet. The secret weapon. Kale contacted her. Lena, he said, there is one option. What? She asked. A human technology, he replied, from old Earth files. A core reactor. Very powerful, but unstable. What happens if we use it? She asked. Kale was silent. Then he said, it will destroy the enemy flagship. And you? Zarkin shouted. No, there must be another way. Lena closed her eyes. She remembered her father, her mother, her brother, Earth, pain, hope, survival. This is how we protect, she whispered. She opened her eyes. Prepare it, she said. Zarkin grabbed her arm. Don't do this. She smiled sadly. You taught me honor, she said. Let me use it. Goodbye. She recorded a message. For the galaxy. For Earth. For her family. For anyone who listens, she said. I am not a hero. I am just human. We fall. We rise. Never forget who you are. She sent it. Then she flew toward the enemy flagship. Alone. Lasers hit her ship. It burned, but she did not stop. Almost there, she whispered. The enemy leader appeared on screen. You choose death, it said. I choose life, she replied. She activated the reactor. Light filled space. White, gold, pure. A massive explosion followed. The enemy fleet vanished. Gone. Reduced to dust. Silence returned. After the storm. For a long time, no one spoke. They searched. No signal. No ship. No Lena. Zarkin cried openly. She saved us. Kale closed his eyes. She saved everyone. Across the galaxy, people watched the recording. Her message. Her smile. Her courage. Earth honored her. Statues were built. Schools were named. History books changed. Humans were no longer weak. They were symbols of strength. The miracle. Weeks later, in deep space, a small rescue ship detected a signal. Weak. Almost dead. They followed it. Inside a broken escape pod, they found her. Alive. Barely breathing. The reactor had pushed her away at the last second. Protected her. By chance. By fate. By hope. Doctors worked for days. Finally, she opened her eyes. Zarkin was there. Tears fell. You came back, he whispered. She smiled softly. Humans survive, she replied. The new beginning. Years later, Lena stood at the academy. Now as a teacher. Students listened with respect. Different species. United. Peaceful. She looked at the stars. And whispered, never judge a planet by its gravity. Judge it by its heart. And the galaxy remembered. Forever.